Conversation Hats Podcast.
In the most recent episode of the Conversation Hats Podcast, we were asked whether or not we'd ever seen a ghost. We decided that we probably hadn't, but this prompted us to look into the most famous ghost stories from our hometown, Cambridge. So, here we go. First off, Abbey House. Abbey House is a well-known haunted house in Cambridge, built in the 16th century on the site of a priory. The ghost of a nun haunts the house during spring, which I'm sure is a lovely time of year to get your haunting done. The nun walks into bedrooms, makes loud banging sounds, and disappears into the curtains, which sounds like the worst game of hide and seek ever. You'd think after hundreds of years of playing, the nun would choose a better hiding place, but apparently not. Along with the nun, there is also said to be a poltergeist, a butler, a woman in white, a hare, and a squirrel. Can you get ghost animals? The Fitzwilliam Lions. Haunted lions might not sound like the scariest ghosts, but they could probably be the most deadly. The pair of lions flanking the entrance to the Fitzwilliam Museum are said to come alive at midnight and drink from the nearby gutters. Presumably they drink around all the passed out students. Christ's College is said to be home to the ghost of Christopher Round, who takes lonely walks around the mulberry tree garden. The story goes that Mr. Round, who probably loved his surname, was out drinking with his love rival, Philip Collier. Whilst drunk, Collier fell into the college pool and began drowning. Because Mr. Round wasn't as jolly as his name implies, he didn't help Collier and just let him drown. Mr. Round spent the rest of his life racked with guilt, so ever since his death he is said to take a walk on the anniversary of Collier's death to contemplate his actions. No one mentions whether or not Mr. Round got the girl in the end, but I imagine if he did, he probably wouldn't feel so bad. Corpus Christi College. The name of this ghost might undermine his creepiness somewhat, but it's actually quite a sad and true story. His name is Butts. Dr. Henry Butts. He stayed at the college during the plague in 1630 whilst everyone else fled the town and tried to limit the infection at Corpus Christi College. No doubt that affected Butts greatly, as he was found hanging in his room on Easter Sunday, 1634. He can be found haunting the college grounds and kitchens. Maybe he's still hungry for his Sunday roast. Peterhouse College is the home of a ghost that in 1997 spooked so many people that the BBC actually reported on the sightings. The ghost was thought to be Mr. Dawes, an actual bursar of the college who hanged himself in the 18th century. During 1997, the hauntings were so bad that some of the college staff refused to enter the room he haunted, and 2 butlers reported sightings as well. Yes, believe it or not, Cambridge colleges have butlers. Of course they do. Before this, 2 previous exorcisms had been carried out at the college. In the 18th century, a ghost was removed from a student's rooms. Insert lazy student joke here. And more recently, a Formadine carried out a ceremony because of the appearance of a dark presence in a corner of the old courtyard overlooking the graveyard. The 1997 exorcism was never carried out after the investigation, so maybe Mr. Dawes still haunts the college today. That was our top Cambridge hauntings. If you've enjoyed this but haven't yet listened to our podcast, the Conversation Hats Podcast, I suggest you find it on your podcast listening app of choice. Feel free to subscribe to Stab Panda TV while you're here. I've been Liam, and I will continue to be Liam, and I will see you later.